Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun, Part 3. Now, in the first two, I talked about triggers, my mental illness, and some other stuff. This part, I want to finish up with the economics. As I said, if you're going to basically live in this world, right, might as well hoard everything you can, money-wise, to make sure you can ride out the storm of what financial downfall. Now, what I'm saying is this is penny pinch, cut corners. If you have to, cut your travel expenses. That's what I've been trying to do ever since, Christmas came. But, when it comes to certain issues, we had to go off island and then, et cetera, et cetera. Now, but the way things are doing and everything's hurting in this country, we've decided to look at the bigger picture elsewhere. Now, a lot of people out there have asked me specifically, what is the other triggers? Literally, they're like, what is the other triggers? Well, take a common little thread, so small, very thin thread. That's the balance that we're hanging in for eviction. Now, people say, oh, well, it's not that bad. It is when you have some eviction problems where you spit in the parking lot, you get an eviction warning. Or you're too messy and they want basically you gone because there's flies buzzing around above the sink and other issues, and they say, oh, it's a infestation. The thing is,
go ahead.
You're
up to talk.
The thing is there's a lot of people out there, government agencies, etc., that say, well, she's on disability, she's getting someone that's going to look after her, which takes care of her cash and basically puts in a group home. The thing is they're like, she can't maintain herself. They're saying she's she's definitely Rain Man. No, she ain't that Rain. She's just basically, herself. I mean, look. The economy, the way it is hurting. Okay. Literally. I would like some
reason why they want me in group homes so they could take control of my money and then spend it for themselves to get Twinkies.
Anyways, the bottom line is when you get all this problem coming up, everything like this, okay, the economy is hurting, okay, people sit there and they say, well, what's good of what is good hurt? Literally, I was talking to someone the other day who was talking to me about things, and I said, well, I made this is something I said, Chloe made a cake, okay, damn fine cake at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Cake pan still on the table from Christmas time. And people say, oh, well,
You just have to bring that up.
Can I just
see? I'm just going to go clean it.
No, don't. I'm just making a statement. Can't I do that? Or are you going to trigger yourself to get angry again?
No, I don't want to hear it.
See, this is the stuff that I have to deal with on a timely basis. Okay, hold on. No, I'm not bitching about it. Thing is, this is what happens, and then the neighbors call. I'm trying to make a statement here. The neighbors call. Next, they're basically stamping on Chloe's disgusting. She's a slop. She's users, abusers, etc. Look, we've had people in the past when I was in Moses Lake call up these places. Okay, these people. Chloe knows this, and next thing you know, they're investigating. So the neighbor gave you 10 days worth of food because you're running low. I'm not running low. The certain, and I explain things. They're like, oh, the thing is when it comes to certain things, that neighbors basically hear things like, oh, when someone says, well, I don't want to hear it, that's where they basically turn around and they say, well, the person that says, I don't want to hear it is wearing the pants of the family. Me, I'm basically stating, that.
Look, I'm just saying that is something that, 911 needs to hear. Because what the impact is when they hear it, they tend to talk shit about me. They tend to put me down. They tend to.
Who? Just people in general?
I'm going to say their names start with a T.
Yeah, basically what she's saying is everyone in general is talking shit about her. Look, I mean, literally, the reason people talk shit about her, and I'm going to be blatantly honest, is because the way things happen between people pressing their ear against a wall, or listening through the halls when we had halls, or listening through the outer entrance here, or sticking their ear against the other walls. I mean, literally everything
Oh
happens
yeah,
for a
because that one
reason.
neighbor likes to stick her ear to wall because she wants to. She wants to find a reason.
Well, she can just go to the manager and say we're basically bickering and fighting, and we'll get a third eviction, and that's it. We're done. She can do that, Chloe, and that's why I've been trying to
Well,
tell.
the thing is, the thing is, you can also get her evicted by saying she's doing stuff. You know.
Yes, but the thing is, she's already put in the file, and this is something I want to share with you. If I grit my teeth, it's because I'm frustrated. Basically, Chloe's trying to drive her out. Basically, the whole thing where Chloe got assaulted sexually from the neighbor here in this island. They're basically going to protect her to the point of they're going to drum us both out. And because of it, we're walking in close eggshell. So when the neighbor hears Chloe snap and I say, calm down, we can do something, later, Chloe gets violently angry. Neighbor gets a hold of these agencies and the crisis team. And then I get a call and it's like, yeah, oh, well, you need to call 911 or you need to bring her to the hospital. And literally, because, they say, well, you're on a very short, thin string or twine or thread that's basically hanging you from eviction. And they say you're being, they say, well, we know from the island and the reports you're being evicted for basically, you two verbally fighting, causing too much noise, threatening. I mean, not me specifically, but they're putting down threatening. Oh, your neighbor threatened to go and kill the other neighbor, or this neighbor's threatened this, or this neighbor heard that Chloe did that. I mean, literally, doesn't anyone realize that those are symptoms of borderline? Man was like, no, doesn't matter. If they threaten me, I'm evicting both of you motherfuckers. A 3-day eviction. That's what the manager basically said. She hears that Chloe makes a threat against the manager or any other tenant. It's a 3-day. So I try to keep it low. This is a part of the economics 101. Where do you go if you get evicted? See, in this economy, it hurts. And then Chloe sits there and snaps. Well, Chloe has a right to snap. Now, seeing her get a little angry is basically the other problem is this, trying to catch my thoughts for a second, and I got a headache coming on. Basically, you saw her combat about the argument, okay? The main thing is I got family members, okay? Family members. I got government agencies. I got state agencies. I got every agency out there that can think of them sends me calls and stuff. You're to get rid of her. I mean, you can't support her. I had a state agency, the federal agency the other day. Story be told, okay? I'm talking to this agency, okay? This is my channel, so I can tell you the story. And I don't want Chloe's mom, if you're watching this. And Chloe probably doesn't know it. I got a call the other day from Social Security. This was before the shutdown. Well, we'd like to help you, and we'd like to do this, and we'd like to do that. I said, amen, I'll help you out. They asked me, who's supporting Chloe? It's not the state cash. I said, no, it's me. They said, you're not supposed to. They were trying to write me up for it. I said, well, no one else is helping, and I said, I only do like a little can of shaving cream and some razor blades. Well, are you buying groceries? No, they're buying that. Are they, when they had cash, were they paying anything? Well, they were giving me some money, but the state basically construed it, and I use that word, misconstrued it as not using funding for whatever. So, nope, she lost it. Oh. The guy turns around, can she work? I said, would you work with, and I gave her all the symptoms. He's like, no. I said, there you go. Oh, well, I have to get a psych eval, and I got to get this. And thing is, Chloe didn't want to give her medical records, which the guy says we're entitled to get copies for ourselves before we submit them. So even if it costs us money. So he said the other report that he asked me, the other one, the summary wasn't good enough for autism. So no autism here. No collusion. You know what I'm going to say? No autism. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to picture Chloe with red hair going, and me being Mueller, being funny, you know, being like, Chloe, I just want to talk to you. No autism, no autism. I didn't say anything about autism. You know what I'm going to say? It wasn't me. And Chloe turns around and she laughs at the stupidest stuff. You know, at times it just triggers in her head. She starts laughing. I'm thinking the whole Trump shagging thing. It was me. No collusion, man. No collusion. The special prosecutor got you sweating like crazy. Wasn't me. Anyways, back to the thing before I get a sidetracked. So one of the things Social Security guy asked me is, you know, because he's got to fill out a lot of forms, you know, to make sure the case and stuff's real. He asked me, "Do you think she's faking?" I says, "I don't know, man. I'm not a freaking rocket scientist. I can't tell." He pulls up my name, so looks up my info, goes, "Why should we even be talking to someone who's mentally ill as you?" I don't know, man, but I can tell you. Well, he was basically stating I could be, I'm being taken advantage of. He also said that, you know, that in a certain circumstance, I even brought up, you know, the whole thing about how Chloe's mom was talking to the hospital that my sister Jenna works at, who stated that she needed to go to a group home, and they were trying to find a group home, and the group home wasn't going to work, and it was just one freaking big mess, right? Sorry, I'm just checking Facebook real quick. And they turned around right out. I got another friend ad that someone added me without me knowing. Let's see. Someone likes my post about the bacon train. Bacon train. Anyways, basically what I want to say out of love to you all is you know, Social Security turned around, right? Chloe doesn't know this because they got to make sure you're not faking it or this or that, you know. And the guy asked me a specific question. He said, "How is she with the chores at home?" I said, "Dude, we won't go there." I was laughing about it. He says, "What's so funny, man?" I mean, I was just the way it was. Dude, we won't go there. You know?
I don't like you talking to agencies.
So, can I just finish? He had to explain that, you know, you need it. This is what helps with people out there. Take a pen and paper. It's part of grocery shop. Sure. Actually, literally asked. There we go. Trigger Central. Finish my story. So the guy asked because he's got to take a list. What can Chloe do and what Chloe can't do, okay? Now, I said by Chloe's medical records, Chloe tried to get a job and this, and this. It blew up because, you know, it's too hard for her. She's disabled. Guy said, I can clearly see she's disabled. I said, I don't know what it is. If it's bipolar, I'd like to know. If it's schizophrenia, I'd like to know. If it's autism, I'd like to know. The guy basically says I would too. But I try to be mellow and try to make changes with the mood a bit. Chloe's just like, that's why we try not to live time. I'm so scared. Thing is, Social Security's going to be asking. Either they're going to ask fucking me, they're going to fucking ask the neighbors. Go to the basically and ask specifically what. Okay. Basically, they're going to be relative or me. Since I live with Chloe, they'll be asking me first, probably Chloe's mom. Second, does she, you know, I mean, Chloe's mom is set. She needs a routine.
You know what? I'm about to get the hammer and just pulverize this laptop.
What?
I'm gonna start all over on this, which I'm gonna just not stop until I get back where I was.
Now, let me put it to you this way. Basically, the bottom line is they asked a logical question, okay? Besides who's taking care of Chloe financially to a point, except for food stamps, Medicaid, the other question is what chores can she do at home? Well, when I told them recently that
I don't want to hear about mental Social Security or anything. It's just I'm done with this because all they do is talk shit about me, say bad things about me, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And just, you know, to call them, let them know, you know, how I feel about what they say about me, and let them know that You know, they want to talk shit about me, fine.
They
I'll
weren't
go slander
talking shit
them.
about you. You see, look at, I'm trying to explain a story, and she just goes on and on and on and on and on. See? And this is why people sit there and see me going insane. Now, let me finish my story. So the guy asks, okay, he's got a right to ask, okay? For some of you out there, Security Administration guys setting up Social Security case, he's got the right to ask what Chloe's disabilities are, okay? Chloe's like, you know, well, if you don't want to hear it, then so be it.
Just like I got a right to call a certain person a dictator.
Well, go ahead. Just, I don't want to hear it right now. See, she's getting very angry. Now, let's get back to it. So Social Security has a right to literally ask questions. They have a right to send a letter out. 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Are you still disabled? Do you have a disability? Oh, you have new disabilities. Can we get your medical records? They go through and they get it all. They send you a letter 6 months later. You're still disabled. Then they don't bother you for another 7 years. All right? Now she's got her ears plugged. So let me just wrap this up real quick because people like...
People can hear us this loud at night.
So, bottom line is, it goes like this for Social Security, okay? Basically, the guy has a right to ask questions. Being bloody honest is the way to go. I just says, I do everything. Plain and simple. I just made a note, okay? That's basically stating that she's too disabled. Now, my father-in-law said to cut bullshit really quick short because, or cut the butter because Chloe doesn't want to hear it, is basically who would hire Chloe? I mean, look, Chloe's combative, angry, etc., etc. I told Social Security this. They got to take into account to all of this. Because it's in her third hospitalization of certain things that happened at one of her jobs, that's probably enough just to get her on disability. But, you know, just to get there is a different story. Problem is, you know, you have to be honest, you know, literally. And so when they fill out the chart, well, can she do dishes? Yes. Can she vacuum? Yes. Can she organize? No.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know,
this is exactly why. Argue and fight. I mean, this is just,
I'm actually being bloody honest. This is the questions they ask you for basically determining
I understand you're
disability.
fucking honest, but the thing is, you know, you're saying in a way that's gonna force me under conservatorship.
Then they can't do it. State of Washington can only do it at certain grounds. Social Security can't. Not unless they have no parents or guardians looking after you, and that's not the case. Problem is basically, you know, there is a lot of options. The thing is here's how it works, okay? Let's just cut the bullshit about Chloe's disability because Chloe's just going to sit there and rip me a new asshole till 8 weeks from Sunday. Let's just cut it this way. Let's make it easy this way, layer by layer. When you apply for disability, you either go in for a Social Security evaluation or they can make you fill out 5,000 papers asking you what you can do and you can't do. Old lady turns around with heart disease, says, I can't lift, I can't change my clothes, I can't do this, this, and this. Then they go in, they see the old lady, and they say, okay, in 30 days approved. Whereas with certain things, we're not going to give names. Let's just use me as an example. I'm going blind. I'm losing my hearing. And yet, they see me with a high school grade average of 8, graduating 8. No high school diploma. No GED. All right. There you go. Certain things, yes. Can't do this, can't do that. I used to have family members look after me to a point. They'd be like, oh, let me help you. I had a family member offer me, come up and help me clean. That never happened. Bottom line is when you basically fill out all this paperwork to get approved, it takes 4 to 6 months for the initial appointment. If you get denied, you can appeal it. Usually get it the second time. It was appealed because they needed some extra papers from developmentally disabled. But that stinks. Mind you, the smell is kind of terrible, but I'm giving myself a headache. But basically what I'm trying to say is, you know, when you fill out for disability, they ask you so many questions that isn't funny. I know people that have been trying for 10 years and they keep getting denied. Oh, it's fake. It's this, it's that. I've seen people get on disability and there is no disability. So, yeah, I don't understand why someone who's severely disabled, I'm just going to say, doesn't get disability. Yet there's other fuckers that are sitting there, oh yeah, oh my arm, oh, inspector coming. Oh yeah, I can't work, I can't do anything. And I've seen illegals being on our Social Security on our dime. So, and this was in Quincy, Washington. So the bottom line is, this. You be bloody honest, and they'll be bloody honest with you. Now, if you want to see triggers and combativeness, the problem is this, okay? Comes to Social Security, we're not going to give names, but if certain people basically were like that in a Social Security office, they'd be rubber stamped within freaking 30 days or less because, that's the thing. And, but they also need to see the true problems too. Literally, here's how it works, okay? It takes video footage. The real reason they basically put borderline, okay? And with a grain of salt. The reason they did that is because a certain somebody turns around, right? A certain somebody turns around, right? And turns around and says, oh, well, the doctors don't lie. They're borderline. The doctors don't lie. They're borderline. Really? Only reason why they say that is because they were fucking colluding with the fucking doctor. Oh, doctor, my kid this, my kid that. I've seen it, blah, blah, blah. I've talked to the doctor, too. Guess what? Two witnesses? Borderline. They didn't fucking tear layer by layer and say autism. And then I just found out recently the doctor says, oh, well, I shouldn't have signed her into the hospital 3 times from the hospital Jenna works at. It's not needed. But literally, if you're looking at the big freaking picture, the problem is, eventually, there's a point in someone's life. I was reading a lady the other day that said there's a guy that she had, it was a brother, had the same symptoms as Chloe. Not talking about Chloe in general, but talking about, the story. The lady finally said, and I quote, it's a hard time knowing that, if they're not on drugs and alcohol and they're not getting treatment, it's hard to see the family struggle and seeing her own brother get, and I'm not saying Chloe in general, but the brother itself that was in this report was like combative and angry and manipulative and taunting, and family couldn't help it. They had to cut all ties. So, the brother is, heavily excess drinking or whatever, not drugs or whatever. I don't know if it was borderline. I think it was borderline autism. But you get the point, okay? It's very rare. It's the rarest of the rarest dirt. And so technically, the lady was saying it was hard to to protect herself and her kids because the person's violent. Literally, I hear it all the time from people, specific people, violence. You only say yourself is bad when, you have regret. I say I'm bad from time to time too on certain things, but you can't live in regret the rest of your life. And, but, you see the whole combativeness anyway. No, don't do this. And all I was saying is, in my story, to cut things short, is what happened to Social Security. I told them the truth. That helps Chloe's case out for disability. Plain and simple. I don't see your mom sitting there, oh yeah, they take a bath every 20 days. Oh yeah, that'd be basically saying, they'd be giving that, they'd be approving Chloe in about 15 days. They only take a bath. Well, let's just say they take a bath like every 15 to 30 days. They'd be basically saying, it was a joke, a joke. But honestly, the thing is, I tried to tell, Social Security, I've tried everything to get them to, this is the thing that shows Chloe's disabled, all right? Chloe doesn't like it because she's like, I'm not talking about it. No, I'm not talking about your disability in general. I'm saying If you go ahead, okay, and this is how you can tell someone's truly disabled, and you sit there and they want something, you go ahead and buy it. You hold on to it and you tell them to do the chores. If they can't maintain even the chores, they get what they want. And I'm not belittling her in any way, shape, or form. Then they can't do the they can't do the chore. Let's just say they're waiting for disability, and you say you keep the house clean. You know, you can have this, and this. Doesn't do it. That's telling you, and that's telling yourself, and that's telling your report, Social Security. Honestly, she's too disabled. She can't work. I mean, literally. I mean, like Poppy said, you know, when it comes to certain things, I mean, look, Poppy's got some problems too, but Poppy's cleaned his attitude up where he's got an actual, like, maid service comes in and helps clean. I can't even get a maid service because they want $400 a month out of my own pocket, you know, but Poppy, he's got the maid services. What is it this time? Complaining about your game again?
No, I am not.
I got to get her another game soon anyways to play. I hope her computer can handle it. See, I'm a good partner. People just
I'm just trying to get this because I had something built and the computer fucking crashed.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to log off and I gotta go take a walk.
Why you have to take a walk?
Because the dog hasn't gone yet.
I will take him.
Anyway, what I wanted to say, you know, is you know, a lot of people out there, you know, they just basically like to point the fingers, okay? Well, why are you with her? Why are you this? Why are you that? It's none of your damn business, okay? I mean, literally, there's reasons, okay? But, you know, I'm going to talk about economics 102 now. Now, a lot of people sit there and say, just buy her ticket, ship her out. It's not that simple. For one, I ship her out, I lose my house. Plain and simple. I don't see anyone else offering roommate service for me. So this Sonic Mania. So technically they say we'll ship her out. Now where do I ship her? Arizona? Her grandmother takes over. Let's just say grandma doesn't want her. Then what? She lives with people that might just throw her out and say, get the fuck to San Diego and get homeless. That's not gonna work. Then you're in her mom. Mom's like, oh well, we'll get you a job, but there's no car. Again, people don't understand the ramification of things, but they turn around and they belittle me and say, oh, well, you're supporting and you're doing this. Well, maybe this is the time for thinking in this dark time of financial hardship. I mean, literally. I mean, look. I mean, we got our electric covered. I can probably cover the entire internet bill, maybe 2/3 of the internet bill. But the internet's running slow as hell. They're not getting a technician out to fix it. The router keeps fucking dumping on us. I mean, to me, I think that's a fucking waste of money. That could be a good VinFest right there. I mean, literally, thing is I'm getting to the point in my life where I can't take a lot of shit. That's why family sits there and says, oh, you got a headache. You need to lay down. Like, today, I was telling Chloe out of kindness, I was telling my favorite peep this too online, I needed a nap. They're like, oh, you're drained? I said, I don't get enough sleep. Last night I didn't sleep well because I was depressed. Today, I got up and, you know, everything was okay until down the well. And everyone knows that means I just hit rock bottom again. Instead, I thought, Chloe needs a phone to call her mom. That's fine. Let me nap. I took a nap. But I'm also got up too damn early, too. I think I went to bed at like 4:30. Got up at like 10. Man, I might even went to bed at 5:30. Whatever it was, the time was just like zombie mode. Reminds me of that. I felt like the zombie. I'm just like, you know. You know. However, there's an interesting thing I was curious about. You know, how is these games? Okay, I like talking about video games from. I'll go back to my previous story in a second. They're always talking about the zombie apocalypse in video games and movies. What causes a zombie apocalypse? What causes a person to be a zombie and eat brains? You see that? That's something I want you guys to say. If you're watching this video, post in the comments.
In some cases, it's a disease. Other cases, it's actually more like, you know, raising the dead.
Necromancy.
Necromancy, yeah. There's two types of zombies. The type that are alive, people with the sickness. Another type are those who are dead, deceased, and they were resurrected from the dead, by some necromancer who likes to raise the dead. Like you see on the other scrolls, you see those zombies are from necromancers.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or necromancy in Diablo, where they raise skeletons and stuff. I don't know if they've ever raised a zombie yet, but that would be cool. But you get the idea. Basically, bottom line is, talking about these things, it just made me thought. But back to my story, basically, my family, they're basically saying economics 102. Thing is, it costs me money, and they say it'd be better purchase to do it than to deal with all this. And they basically turn.
What?
I'm just making sure you're not getting angry.
I'm not.
Anyways, basically, the family basically turns around, and they basically think it'd be a better deal for that. Now, I told her, I was willing to do it, for my own safety and peace of mind. Now, problem is with the things falling through cracks and stuff, I don't know which way to turn, and it's hard because, like I said, my family wanted me to do this video anyway, so let's just talk about economics 102. If I sent the young lady to Pittsburgh, Arizona, or I don't even know where else. I think she said New York or something. Miami, something like that. Yeah, it's going to cost me a lot of money one way. What is it, Mom? Huh? Come here. What's wrong? What? I got a little rutabaga here. So anyways, it says here, Amazon deal of the day. That email came in. Hi. I love my sheet too. Okay, so basically, let's just finish this up. So the economy is not good. I can't afford to travel to send her out, which means getting new suitcases. Go ahead, hop up there. She needs you. Getting new suitcases and making sure the suitcases or luggage set is affordable, which I don't even know what you can get on Amazon for luggage, but I have to get luggage, and then I'd have to get this, and I have to get that. And, it's just a costly expense, and it's, too expensive. But basically what I'm trying to say out of love is, it's not good. Now, people sit there and say, well, you're being taken advantage. Well, no, I'm not. You're taking advantage as if I would, by law, as someone who knows they're being taken advantage of, and allows it, So I'm trying to find something real quick, just hypothetically, just something while talking, But I do want to say out of love, for all my fellow mankind that's watching this, and you all to be interesting people because I love all of you, and that people sit there and they say, well, why don't you do that, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, and I'm at my wit's end by basically saying, what the hell? So my father-in-law, Poppy, he messaged me the other day, tonight. He was just, my mother, Danny, has just got a phone charger, so just to share that with you, no one cares. It's like, oh yeah, I need to charge my phone so I can watch your videos, and it's like, you just want to sit there and say, out of love, like no one cares. Literally, you just want to sit there and say no one cares. I mean, I frankly would say the same thing. No one cares. So technically, that's where you basically just want to sit there and say no one cares, But anyways, basically on Economics 102, like I said, you got to look at the big pictures of finances. Now, Oh, I think, and I'm going to go out on a limb here for Chloe for a second and say out of love that what I think's wrong with the Chloe thing, when she sits there and says, "Oh, well, people want to paint me as a monster or whatever," and I'm just saying this for um, my own thoughts, is that um, that I think the the um, the thing about Chloe's statement is it's she's kind of afraid, okay, and she has a right to be. The thing is you just got to be bloody honest with agencies. The thing is they're not out to hurt Chloe. They're out to figure out the people that are out to hurt Chloe. And I'm gonna say this and without naming it is people that sit there, okay, people that sit there and they point fingers at people like Chloe and say, "Oh yes, Chloe's lazy," right? Chloe's lazy, and it's sad. I mean, literally, doesn't anyone have anything better to do than turn around and basically go after a woman who didn't do anything to her? She's just trying to live her life in the right way. Instead, you get these dumbasses. No offense to me using that term, dumbasses. Wow. Look at that. You basically click on eBay, right? They have like 11,000, right? And then you got to go down and it's like, well, I don't care about this. I just want to find the thing down here where it says, um uh, all right. And then you just want um right here. I'm just doing this. Is there uh and then you want to go down here to a um US only, right? I'm doing the filters. I never filter, so I'm talking about them. But basically Chloe, she has a right to complain. And I mean, I'm not complaining at all. It's basically what I'm saying is you have to be bloody honest, otherwise, you get these idiots. Now, let me just explain to you a couple things, okay? Well, where's the buy it now option? Here we go. All listings. I don't want all listings. I want buy it now. All right. So basically, what I wanted to say out of love to you all is Chloe's a, uh, the, I don't know how to explain it. All right. So basically, Chloe is a wonderful girl. Okay. There you go. Wonderful girl. She is a wonderful woman, and yet she is disabled. There you go. I'm going to say it that way without pissing off anyone. And because of it, the young lady turns around and, as beautiful as she is, um, has her own. Yeah, I want to look at it. This looks cool. I mean, using the thing, you buy it now, $95. You get 5 pieces of luggage. That's just badass right there. 5 pieces of luggage for $95. You see, this is one of the reasons why I said it costs money to. Ooh, is that a 5 piece too? Yeah, it is. Same thing. Same luggage set, just different brand, different company. Actually, it's a little different, isn't it? I want to look at that anyways. That looks cool. So basically, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to um is there a brand thing here? Because I would love to see if there's a brand. A brand. Here we go. So we just filter this real quick. I'm just checking that out. Um, yeah, same stuff. That's cool. It is. Except that one there looks a little different than that one. That one's 5 piece, you know. Yeah, that's cool. So, anyways, there you go. We found out that one buying out for 119, but you guys get the idea, right? So basically, what happens is, all right. So we want to do this, and then we want to go down here to one more brand. Unless they won't let you do more than one brand at a time, then I'd be like, what? Oh, there we go. And we want to go with the other brand that everyone knows of. There we go. So the filter is already set. But anyways, can we just continue down the discussion now? So basically, what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to the beautiful Chloe Spice, you know, when it comes to the beautiful Chloe, something wrong with being, not, you know, I mean, literally shouldn't feel afraid. Now, it comes to certain things, oh, well, you're making me look like a monster. No, I'm not. What it is, you know, they're going to ask questions, and, you know, you can't just, you know, instead, you just sit there and say, well, you know, and just be straight up for honest. I mean, look at Poppy said it himself. Like tonight, just said it, you know, hey, can you trust Chloe with the job? No, I mean, you know, but and yet has right to. Things I would say, you know, and I know my family would basically rip me a new one about this too, because that's the way they are. Sometimes you gotta basically, oh, well, what? I mean, is there something that you shouldn't speak your mind? We'd like to know what you're thinking. We are, you know, there uh, for you, you know. And people sit there and say, "Well, we're there for." Keep your mouth shut. And I'm gonna have to make some more coffee soon. Is basically, you know, when you basically sit there and you're talking about, um, hypothetically, okay, let's just use hypotheticals. You know, I already said, you know, picture this as a thread, and our home is being basically, you know, um,
What? Why is this game crashing?
uh, so basically, you know, hanging from a thread, and then people sit there and say, you know, it's not about Chloe being a bad person. Basically, what family has taught me is that it's more about opening your trap about uh, uh, stupidity. Basically, stupidity. You know, people sit there and say, "Oh well, you know, it's stupid. It's this. It's that." It's actually not stupid. What it is pretty much people sit there and they turn around and they kind of complain. Literally, okay. Let's just say talk about complaints. And they turn around and they complain. And they complain. And then they complain. And you know, in the end, they complain. And so what is happening is you sit there and you build a reputation of saying, "Oh yeah, well, you know, this happens and that happens." And no one wants to listen. Plain and simple. Let's just say no one wants to listen. They just sit there and say, "Oh, well, you know, it's a problem." thing is, you sit there and you're talking about a family issue, right? And the world gets to know about the family issues. Let's just say the world is about whatever, right? Now, you have people out there in the world that watched my old channel. And please excuse me, I'm just looking through some luggage sets, 3-piece, 4-piece. They look pretty cool. They got so many different sets, it's not even funny. It's like, get this 4-piece, this 4-piece, and you just look at it like, wow, maybe there's a better set than that. But a man can only use 3 or 4 pieces anyways, and that's the economy nowadays because luggage is too expensive. I don't remember anyone taking 7 pieces on a boat lately or whatever. But anyways, let's just talk, okay? So basically, the whole legal issue thing with not legal issue is so my father-in-law basically sent me some crap about the ACLU. Now, basically, what I want to say is I love him dearly. Okay, he's a great guy. Now, one of the things I want to share with you all is I'm a moron. Yeah, it is almost 2 in the morning. Can you believe that? I'll be going to bed late again.
And we all do.
Anyways, back to my story. So technically, when I basically brought up the example of Chloe, okay, and she got combative tonight, which I apologize. The reason I was bringing it up is because, to tell you all, because I have people that sit there and they message and contacted groups and agencies, and Moses is like, oh yeah, Rita's got to do everything. Rita's got to clean the fucking John. Rita's got to fucking clean the sink. Rita's got to fucking vacuum. Rita's got to do this. Rita doesn't do, everything.
So it caused me to go suicidal.
And then, Chloe basically did. But the thing is if Chloe says that on YouTube, right, like right now, they're going to just chalk it up. This is what I want to share with you. You bring this up, right? People sit there and they call up and they're like, Rita's doing everything here and Friday Harbor. Rita's doing everything at Friday Harbor. Rita's doing everything Friday. They come out and they talk to me and yeah. And then they basically say, why are you still with her? Why are you still with her? You need to get rid of her. You're being used. You're being severely used. And I have family and I have friends and all this stuff to say that. Now, Moses Lake, it was, stuff like that. And then you hear this. Oh, I would be suicidal. I mean, look, the people that basically do the triggers, okay, I'm not a trigger maker for Chloe. If they basically heard it on my channel, that's suicide. They would basically turn around and make sure it got into a medical record. Oh, using suicide to get out of this. And they already did this, okay? That's something I want to share with you that irks me, okay? Let's see about my luggage thing I'm looking at. Let's just talk about luggage, too, while I'm doing it. It irks me because every time I turn around, you lovely people need to know that they basically plunk something in it like, Chloe needs a routine. If Chloe doesn't get a routine, she's becoming lazy. Oh, Chloe doesn't want a job. And then they put in her records, Chloe's severely abusing Rita. Rita's got to do everything. Chloe doesn't want to do anything. She meets the criteria, meets the criteria. And then out of love, Chloe knows this already, out of love. I want to go through this. Whatever happened to the other set? I'm going to have to go and look. I thought we had 2 sets in here already. Huh. I'm only getting 1 set here. Did they even put in that brand? Oh, yeah, we do. Here it is, $95. So this stuff starts at $95. All right. So that's what it was. But anyways, I was just looking at a different brand that I was just selecting. But you get the idea, right, everyone? So technically, out of love, and I love every one of you, is if you look at the freaking problem, right? And out of love, you look at the big problem. You got that, you got people sitting there, and then, I've had people sit there and say, like, one of the people I know, is that a 7-piece? Holy crap, 7-piece, that looks cool. But I don't really like blue. I think I'd prefer it in black. I mean, literally, black seems to be the luggage choice of this day. I'm not really big on red anymore, but you know, the 5 set's good. The 7 set would be cool too. But I'm only here's a 6 piece of purple. You see, the thing is, 5 piece sounds about right because you know Chloe would agree. How many pieces can you take with you at one given time?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, and you know, a garment bag usually doesn't really work that well. And I've had red. Oh, that looks cool for red. You know, but still. Uh, but anyways, ooh, that looks cool. Luggage accessory kit. So they give you 10 accessories too with it. That seems cool. All right. So basically, you know, basically what I want to say without pissing off Chloe is when you look at the big picture in the entire country, you know, you be honest with Social Security, they'll be honest with you. But um when it comes to, you know, certain things like for example, I've got enough luggage to look. So yeah, here we go. I just, you know, there we go. So basically, what I want to say is, you know, it comes to Chloe on Economics 102. I can't just ship her out, all right? I don't have the finances. People say just do it, get it over. It doesn't matter if she's homeless in a homeless shelter. That's not me. But what I want to say out of love is, you know, Social Security is going to eventually figure it out one way or another, whether, you know, she can work or not. I can't make the decision. Everyone knows this. But I can say out of love that when it comes to these decisions uh, and her being combative, you know, the real reason she doesn't want these little family issues to be seen is because she doesn't want to be targeted. Okay, that's the plain and simple. Okay, there is a person out there, and I won't go into details. It's a trigger for Chloe, but I will say it without saying it. Is there is a woman out there that basically turned around and called Chloe the most laziest son of a bitch in the world. And you know, freedom of speech. Chloe can turn around and say they're a cocksucking bastard. Which Chloe has. But see, I can laugh about that. But honestly, this person that Chloe calls a cocksucking bastard, for what I understand, has reported Chloe so many times, okay, for errors and infractions. For example, that you know, they basically said that Chloe couldn't maintain a house by a 1 bedroom or studio by herself unless Chloe lived with basically a Bible and a cot and one blanket and a pillow and enough clothes there. But she's got so many clothes, she'd have to fill up her closets. And you know, and a vacuum cleaner to vacuum once a month, you know, that would be, you know, and one pot to cook in for her ramen. But because you know, I have so much stuff, for example, the lovely problems that happened is they couldn't maintain a house, even though it was a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. So they wanted to basically state, I'm not giving names, that that they want to use and abuse me financially, mentally, physically, sexually, and I see Chloe's eyes. She's just sitting there looking at me. And on top of that, basically want to claim that they have an insatiable hunger for sex because they masturbate a lot. And yet there's a lot of other things that the other person says that's probably falling under the other person anyways. But they also said either it's faking it, which is not true. They know it's not faking it. Or it's the fact that Chloe's gone down the toilet so much that, you know, as they said, group home. So basically, when it comes to Chloe, and I bring up, you know, the thing about the cake pan, for example, I didn't mean to bring it up to trigger anything. It was basically Chloe knows that this person would sit there and say, well, that person is just a slob. They can't do that, and it's a month on the table. What can someone do? I mean, that's the way they are. They're the type that would basically report it and say, look, they're going to basically the you know the person that lives with him, the bill payer is getting sick from this, you know, and
Oh, sorry, I thought to hear that.
See,
But hey, you can say what you want. I mean,
but I mean, literally, I was gulping, so I could see in her body language, hearing from behind, with my hearing dead almost, that I know it was wrong. I was just trying to swig it down because it's cold. But honestly, here's the deal. So basically, I can't basically pay for it. I know family just says just get her out, get her off the lease, and we'll figure out what to do after that. Maybe you'll be better off. A lot of people say just get rid of her, you'll be better off. Maybe, but is she gonna ever get a job? No one knows. I mean, look. I mean, everyone's pointing. You know what the real problem is? Okay, I'll tell you. One of Chloe's family online attacked me. Said, "Oh yeah, those are you." Could, for all we know, could be a mental hospital, right? But anyways, that information was relayed to the right people. Next thing you know, they're basically labeling Chloe's family as abusing Rita, triggering Rita to be in a mental hospital, triggering this, triggering that. What happens? Chloe turns around, and Chloe knows it's her mom because it's like, Chloe needs to come home. Yeah, well, then buy her a ticket. Plain and simple. I've given Chloe the phone many times to call your mom. Get out of here. You got a chance to leave. Go for it. I mean, literally. Thing is, I'm not holding Chloe back. Then Chloe's mom's like, you need meds, really? Let me ask you a fucking question. By the way, did she ask about Depakote today, or?
no.
Well, what one was she was asking about? Just meds in general?
Just meds in general.
See? This is what, you ask a specific question, he's like, oh, come out of there.
No, it wasn't bad. I just don't know.
Some people say
I save my own ass here saying I don't know because I honestly don't know.
Well, anyways, meds won't work anyways, and Chloe's already put her foot down, and she doesn't want companies to make money off her, and meds won't work. So technically, what's the point? I mean, look, the mental hospitals, I just found out, misdiagnosed her from a psychiatrist, and so but the psychiatrist also said to stay on course and keep looking at the symptoms. If she meets the criteria, just let her know. If she doesn't, let her know. I mean, look, right now they're basically thinking, that she's more autism, but for all we know, it could be borderline or bipolar or both. Borderline and bipolar. I mean, that can't. Schizophrenic isn't there. Schizophrenic is really rare. But you get the idea. Thing is basically what I'm trying to say out of love is, when it comes to the whole ideology of the cake pan, for example, I didn't mean to upset anyone. It was mostly an example of, why our housing is hanging on a thread. I mean, this person that I knew, not Chloe, they're the type of person who would sit there and say, well, you gotta get rid of them. Yes, I agree. Okay. Problem is where do you send them? Make him homeless in San Diego? No. Make him homeless in Portland? No. Make him homeless in Seattle? That would be fine. No. Make him homeless in Pittsburgh or Ohio? No. The problem is it's not about making someone homeless. What the big picture is people sit there and then, Chloe has a right to make an opinion, and I have a right of my own. It's called freedom of speech. But certain names aren't supposed to be on these channels because we could lose them. My thing is this. Chloe has a right to be griping about her safety, her concerns, and her, the combativeness. Thing is the bottom line is when it comes to Chloe, the reason she's this way, she doesn't want people painting her as a monster, going, oh yeah, Chloe can't. The thing is, if anything, it paints her as she's too disabled. Oh, what? She's afraid they're going to basically plunk her and say, Chloe, you're going to a group home. No, it doesn't work that way. Even my friends know this, that say, oh, she needs a group home. They know the group homes are freaking full. And so forth. Oh yeah, group homes will take your money. No, they're not going to take your money. First, you got to get on disability. And, it's hard. I mean, that's Social Security asks these questions. Oh, what can she do and what can't she do? And they put 2 and 2 together with a list, and they basically figure it out in their little computer jobby program. I mean, literally, I mean, I was talking to the lady helping us with the electric thingy the other day, and she's just sitting here talking about all this stuff. I said, look, I've been doing everything I can, but it's hard. I mean, literally, people sit there and, where our things are hanging by a thread. All right. Why is it being held by thread? I'll tell you why. Because, maybe it's me, maybe it isn't. I mean, every time, I remember one time, neighbor called an state agency, and they came out and closed in a mental hospital and says, "Why are you cleaning?" I go, "Needs to be done." Didn't say anything more like, "Oh yeah, Chloe did this." Oh no, I said, "Needs to be done." Neighbor came over. Neighbor who was in love with me. "Well, we're just doing it." Blah blah blah. Lady took a note and said, "You got to be fucking kidding me." So she's there for a week. You're fucking cleaning. Needs to be done. I mean, literally, the thing is the lady basically said, "Well, she's too disabled." She could have got on it, but apparently, the problems. I mean, the problem is Chloe knows that these mental places, they just turn around and say, "Oh, well, what's Social Security gonna do for you? What's having a sex change gonna do for you? What having a Shih Tzu is gonna do for you? What's having stinky Swiss cheese feet do for you? What's playing Guild Wars 2 the rest of your life gonna do for you? What's playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2 gonna do for you?" See, I had to throw those in as a joke. Chloe knows that part was a joke.
What would me not being racist against Mexicans do for you? That's what I'd feel like.
Yeah, and then they basically mark in your medical chart you're racist. I mean, literally, you don't want that.
I'm proud of it. Racist and proud, biatch. Because I don't like. I mean, there is a certain type of people I just can't stand. And this is exactly why the government shut down. It's because, for reasons because of them.
Well, back to my story, so, well, I'm not racist at all, but basically what I'm trying to say is, joking about these things, Chloe's afraid, basically, and she has a right to. I mean, when you got people pointing the finger saying, we've had neighbors turn around and tell Chloe to get off their fucking lazy ass and get a job. It's not Rita's job. And Chloe's like, her mouth was like this going, like, oh my God, someone actually told me that. I mean, the body language of Chloe, you could tell was like, oh my God, how did this happen, But honestly, you got people like that. I mean, literally. And other people are like, you're just being spun around and, literally, honestly, I'll tell you something, okay? Now, I'm hurting. Literally, financially, I'm hurting. Literally, we got help with the electric bill. It's a blessing. Problem is we're freezing here in winter time. Maybe that's why Moppy wants to be closed heater.
I was just like, why do you want to talk about this when it's just when all that's
Moppy's the heater.
All that has ever triggered in the past was people, demonizing me, making me look like a villain, making me, look. They're trying to rub dirt on me, making me look like I'm no good.
Well, a lot of, and you know what Poppy said about that? Let him do that. They're just talking shit about you. Problem is it helps Chloe out in the long run. Because the more basically dirt that they want to stick on Chloe, the more basically likely she'll get on disability. Plain and simple. It's not just to answer 22 and you're on disability. You have to prove certain issues Chloe's meeting it. But some people say she's just doing it for attention anyway. So my bottom line is I'm not trying to trigger anything, all right? As a matter of fact, I'm getting to the point in my life where I just don't want fucking drama. And so, basically, when it comes to this whole thing, what I'm trying to say is wrap up on financial economics 102 is, or is it 103? Maybe 102 was the one where be careful with the Super Bowl party. If you can't afford it, don't do it. With the economy the way it is, see, I'm just living day by day, hoping we survive, right? When we get a blessing like ladies offering free dinners like today, you take the fucking free dinner. You don't ask questions. But yeah, we're out of tobacco. No problem. What is this? Okay. Okay, so some stupid person sent me an email about going to college. All right, so Basically, what I'm trying to say is there someone watching this? No, there isn't. Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say out of love is, basically, people need to realize that, what?
Nothing.
That
Sorry,
you,
sorry I said something.
before I go, I would like to share something that's in my heart. All right. And that is, um, when you see Chloe, people sit there and they see Chloe, like right now, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say something. People basically look at that as, what's going on. Okay. People sit there and say, oh, well, you shouldn't be frustrated. Thing is I get frustrated too. Okay. I get frustrated all the freaking time. Honestly, I get frustrated more than you can think.
Everybody gets frustrated. It's not a mental illness to get frustrated.
Well, I'm trying to explain something. Now, people sit there and they already labeled her an intermittent explosive whatever. I can't even remember. Okay, I'm tired. But the bottom line is, with all this stuff, people want to sit there and point fingers, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, look, if you want to basically drum Chloe out, and you really want Chloe out, then why don't you just get off your lazy ass and buy her a ticket? Start a GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Let's give some money so she can get out of here. I mean, come on. But literally, you guys got to think of something. If you guys are sitting there basically, saying, oh, well, she can't cook, she can't clean, she can't do this, she can't do that, you're belittling her, you're demonizing her. I'm just going to say it, demonizing. Then why don't you just get her a freaking GoFundMe account set up for her and get her out of this place? And if you're that worried about me, I mean, literally, if you're that fucking worried. I mean, I can't afford it, but at the same time, people sit there and say, well, I mean, I let me put it this way, okay? Psychiatrists I talk to, all right, this is what I want to share with you of my feelings. I don't want her getting angry. When I was talking to psychiatrists already had all the reports. She just confirmed a few things. She said, you take all this, throw it in a blender. We won't go into details. That's what you get. Autism. Fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. She also said that, what's pushing me to the psychological breaks, like Chloe has her own reasons she's breaking and needing a mental hospital at times. Literally, like she said yesterday to her mom. Now, we're not going to go into details. Like the doctor said, I talked to the doctor. Doctor said no. She wouldn't, even if she went to Swedish or Harborview or another hospital, she won't sign her in. She doesn't need it. Plain and simple. I mean, literally, it's not going to work. Medications ain't going to work. She's autistic and so forth. Now, the reason people sit there and try to paint Chloe in a bad light is simple. It's simple. Either they're jealous because she's too autistic or they think she's faking it. Now, I want complete concrete proof she's faking it before I basically throw her out. Because frankly, every one of these people I know that she's faking it. She's got college behind her. She could pack groceries. People can have a breakdown to the point of no return. They could go suicidal. They could be homicidal. I mean, I've looked over the diagnosis. I was talking to someone today via text, and I said, what do you think Chloe's diagnosis? Wrong. The main ones that they're diagnosing, wrong. And I'm talking to someone who's got a college degree or a university degree that knows. They say, Poppy, he's like, he'd say maybe 30% chance that it's a personality disorder. Otherwise, no. He said 30% because it was just give or take, okay? Now, we're not talking about mental illness, but the reason Chloe gets picked on is because either everyone wants point finger saying she's faking it or she's too disabled. Now, me being learning disabled, people sit there and try to point out that I'm too disabled. That's why I'm allowing myself to be abused, hurt, etc., exploited, as the word was used. And it hurts me. Literally hurts me. I try to defend Chloe all the time. But same time, I'm getting to the point in my life where if anyone wants to get her out of my fucking life, then you can pay for it out of your own damn pocket because, frankly, I can't afford it. And that's the bottom line. I mean, people sit there and say, well, if you just cut out 100, 150 bucks, it can go to your grocery one-time fee. You can fly her out of here. Where would she go? You see, I mean, everyone points Chloe as the lazy, self-centered gamer guy who likes to masturbate and play computer games. That's what the people are saying online. Now, I don't see it that way. And then you have the other ones that are the self-centered, narcissist.
That likes to claim that about me is a fat cow.
Yeah, well, let me just put it this way. Then you got the other side that says they're a narcissistic bastard wearing a dress, trying to be a true woman who's overdoing it in the woman, and women don't masturbate all the time. Or hey, you're a pop. There. I'm saying you're her papa. Maybe not. From there, that you got. Otherwise, I'm hearing it because I don't have the dime. I got her home because reasons, and people, these psychiatrists, these doctors, these therapists, they're fucking right on the money. Where's she gonna go? I mean, I want Social Security. Me? I don't care.
I am saying.
It can help and hurt Social Security. So, and maybe it was my mouth to a point that said some of these things, but I was speaking from a perspective of truth, okay? Not to sit there and for you guys to twist it and say, oh, yeah, Joe Bob, that one over there that's our news from Ohio. I'm doing a thing for Truman, That one is the lazy maid from Ohio. Literally, I'm just trying to be funny, But honestly, you guys get the idea. I love all of you, okay? Point is I love Chloe to the point of no return. Honestly, I hear people say I'm not going to be around at Christmas time. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be dead. Not from suicide, but from physical ailments. Problem in my life peacefully, and that's why I'm cutting corners right now. It's spreadsheets. But I'm also tired as hell because I'm tired. And, people sit there and say, like, my family asked me, have you had your nap? You sound a little crabby. No, I haven't had my nap. I mean, today I had a nap. And Chloe says, I think you had an hour's nap. Well, I don't want an hour's nap. I need more than that. I mean, if I go to bed at 4 this morning, I'll be getting up at like 12. That's fine. I mean, I don't like getting up Wednesdays because it's early. You say something?
No, I did tell you that. You did get hours in that. But,
well,
I'm just saying that,
I'm going to go to bed soon because I want to get at least 8 hours tonight and tomorrow morning. Maybe I can do a few spreadsheets or whatever. My opinion is I'm just tired, okay? I'm just exhausted. And a lot of people sit there and say, well, living with Chloe must be an exhaustion. Honestly, and this is what it makes me feel, yes. The combativeness, the arguments, which we both are at each other's throats at times. I mean, it's a toxic relationship, okay? My point is this. It's tiresome, and I try to do everything I can, as hubby said. Shower everyone with kindness, love everyone, as your neighbor, and treat them as you would treat yourself. And honestly, I'm not feeling too well. Literally, I'm feeling like I'm going to have a headache that's going to explode. It's like blood vessel pooling around in my head. Anyways, I know it's nothing. It's just a headache. I'm just tired, and a lot of people say I'm either going to be a heart attack victim or stroke victim, and to me, I don't care.
I'm tired of these mental health professions. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of your family.
Well, I'm tired of your family, but you don't see me bitching about them. All I said is any of these fuckers want to basically pin the point at you, and they want you gone so bad they can pay for it out of their own pocket, which damn good and well they won't. She's tired of my family because my family, she thinks, belittles. No, what my family does is they basically turn around and they're basically, let me put it to you this way in Economics 104, okay? Simple terms. I'm supposed to go to a doctor's appointment in February. I had to cancel, okay? The lady said, well, why do you have to cancel? Well, 2 reasons. Chloe knows reason 1, okay? It's not Chloe. Okay? People say, oh, well, you're not Chloe. You got to pay for Chloe, and you got to pay for Chloe, and you got to pay for her. No. Family knows it's not about Chloe, okay? Family knows. Right now, honestly, do you know why I canceled the appointment for hormones?
Why?
What's the problem we're having right now?
Government shutdown.
Exactly. Can we afford to travel?
Not with the shutdown, no.
Amen. See, she even put that together really quickly. See, I'm proud of her on that aspect. Problem is, I can't.
Someone else is gonna think different, believe differently. Not gonna call APS.
You know what? They're not. It's in her head right now. See, they're not caring about that. You know what they said? They know the fucking government's doing it. Now, if the government was open, okay, here's the other side of the coin. Now, the one where Chloe says APS thing. Which, the reason for that is that I got a massive headache. It's almost ready to debilitate me, it seems. Maybe I do need a little nap. Oh, yeah. The bottom line is, when it comes to the other side of the coin, people sit there and say, quote unquote, for example, let's just say Chloe had an appointment at Idaho or Wenatchee or Portland, right? Or Seattle. Let's just say any of those 4, right? And I had to go for a doctor's appointment at the same time. Family would say, well, Chloe should be supporting herself. She should buy her own tickets and hotel fee. Because I'm doing it, that cuts into my fee. Say $30 to $150 per ticket. And so the money dwindles a bit, and then then groceries, and then food. And in the end, you figure out, oh, yeah, I spent $500 on a trip to go see a doctor. And so they want to basically, the other side of the story, want to say, well, I'm being equal with Chloe, and I shouldn't be equal. Chloe shouldn't be equal because in certain eyes, Chloe can agree to this, right? That people think of her as a monster or a lazy cave girl, doesn't know how to clean. So they just want to say, well, abuse her. So, and family basically sits there, and family knows I try my best. I mean, literally, I think they know. I mean, honestly, they know. So technically, because this video is almost an hour and a half, I'm tired. I'm cranky. I just want to say out of love for all of you. Basically, Economics 104 is I can't just pay out through the nose during the shutdown for travel. I can't. Secondly, basically under the travel expenses anyways, it's expensive. I mean, I'm trying to hold up to see if Chloe can get disability before I travel to some of these other areas because, it's expensive. And, and then when you talk to doctors, they're like, nope, we don't have anything except for this place. Then you talk to a doctor and you talk to like state taxi service. They're like, oh, we can't go that far. Even if it's for a specialist, we can't. They want to get to point A to point B. And if the primary care can give a medicine like hormones, the job's done. You can get it right here on the aisle. Fucking. Meanwhile, they're basically saying, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. I'm struggling because I can't fucking get out there, and when I do get out there, it's going to be hard because the government shut down and I can't just sit there and plop thingies out. I mean, how do we know train travel is booked? I mean, I haven't checked for train travel in a while, but I bet you that it's like sold out. So I'm not looking. you know, the traveling just to get a hotel is like $300. I mean, just for 2 nights, it's like $300. I mean, 300 this, 300 that. I mean, let me look, okay? I mean, literally, that's the whole short thing for economics 104. You know, is the expenses. So
you shut the program down. Oh, type your ass out.
anyways, all I wanted to say to you all is, you know, I love you all, and you know, the economic 104 is you can't just pay you can't pay to you can't pay, right? And so technically what they're saying is, let's see, I want February. I'm just checking real quick. Yeah. Here we go. So basically what I'm trying to say out of love is, you know, the financial burden is so bad that people basically want to point fingers and say, you know, there's people that are lazy. Well, maybe I'm lazy, okay? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I'm lazy. Thing is, you know, people sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I reported this and that, you know, and that I have, you know, um, uh, what do you call it, you know? Uh, Scheiden. Um, that she, you know, maybe it's just me, but people sit there and they want to pinpoint like, yeah, she shouldn't do this, you know, she, you know, and it irritates me. So I get triggers, you know. My triggers is why should I be, you know, hmm, so basically when I say, you know, um, so just to go to the doctors, for example, is going to be almost $1,000 just for sleeping accommodations. You can't, you know, get a deal this time around. So I just checked it out to be nosy, but you guys get the idea, okay? Basically, you know, you got all these people abusing and posting and calling, and it's a trigger to me, you know. And then when people sit there and, you know, when it comes to me, I'm tired, you know, but my main thing is I've talked to doctors, and doctors say, how much more are you going to be poked? I mean, it's not just about someone sitting there calling all the time saying, Aaron is being abused, Raiden is being abused. It's how much more can I truly take? I mean, literally. I mean, yes, we get into a game of verbal attacking each other, and people sit there, I mean, literally, I mean, it's not good. So you get the ideas. It's not good, but it ain't great. So technically, it just upsets me to no end, And then people sit there and say, "Get rid of her." Well, unless you have an idea where she goes, there's nothing I can do. People say, "Oh well, your thing is." I talked to the mental hospital. Chloe's right. Can't trust mental places. Can't trust this. Can't trust that. Can you? When freaking this diagnosis, I mean, look. Psychiatrist says it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It takes 8 to 16 weeks or more to diagnose someone with schizophrenic, bipolar, borderline. They did that. One place did borderline in freaking 1 day. Another place did bipolar 2 in 1 day. How does that work?
I know, right?
Exactly. So, So bottom line is I love every one of you. Like I said, basically I'm tired, I'm exhausted, my body's tired, my head's hurting, and I just need to get some rest. Probably lack of tobacco. But I love every one of you, and I just want to say out of love that if you guys look at it from a financial standpoint or a Social Security disability standpoint, Chloe meets the criteria in my opinion. My point is when I brought up the cake pan, it was just an example of different things. Now, the manager, like said, she wants to use anything and everything to get rid of us because they're trans. But, the problem is you got these people out there that, and in the past we've done videos, Chloe's talked about her PG-80, and people say, oh, yeah, invisible clitoris.
Yeah,
the
guy who claims that he's part woman, but he's not. He has extra testosterone. I'm not going to mention his name.
Well, anyways, the bottom line is I love all people, and my main thing is I brought that up because it's not good, but the thing is I was talking, this is one of my triggers, okay, and I'm gonna just cut the bullshit and get it over with. One of my triggers is, and I might bring this up tomorrow again, but is I do a lot for Miss Chloe, and I don't ask for much. I literally, as hubby would say, I don't ask for enough. And one of the things I do sit there and question about is the if I pay for meals and other things, like I told the guy on the Social Security, that things get done around here. Well, that's one of my triggers the most, and then I hear other people sit there and I've heard the lady that runs the state agency that's always trying to get rid of Chloe. She's like, well, you can't, you're just being turned away. You're buying stuff and then an excuse machine, and I'm at that point in my life where when this stuff happens and it clicks in my head, gives me a massive headache, or I'm tired, or I want to sleep. It's basically a mechanism for how much more, and I've said this, will I take, and that brings me down to the level of suicide. So, technically I have a problem. So, like today, I was just like, I need a snooze. So, like right now, I gotta sleep. So, and I'm not saying I'm suicidal in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying this is how it is. Chloe knows it. My main thing is like I said, is how I feel is, how much more am I going to give? How much more am I going to give? And the reason I say that before I log off is not because of, Chloe. All right. Chloe's not the problem. Well, some people say she is. So you guys want to say it, that's your business. My problem is It's not just Chloe, okay? I mean, literally, it's not about Chloe, okay? It's partly about Chloe, but not all Chloe. I get accused of abusing her. Not true. I get, told that by all these places and agencies I'm being abused. I'm going to have payee status. I'm going to lose my benefits and all this unless they get rid of her. I just don't want to throw her out. I have hope that she can change. And then people say she'll never change. Get rid of her. And then finally, the triggers that, like I said, is how much more am I going to take? Now, it's not, like I said, about Chloe. It's about everything in general. You got people sitting there, well, you need to do this for me. So I go and do it for them. Then I hear some jackass say, well, you need to do that for me. And you do it for them. And then you hear another jackass say, well, what are you going to do about this? Then again, some jackass says the same thing, right? And then you got these trannies there. Oh, you don't pass. And then, you get the day when you're just sitting there, right? And you've had enough and you want to shut down a group. And then you hear the beautiful Chloe say, oh, well, you want me to be like a bastard with a beard. It's like, no. And you got all this stacked up. Not just Chloe, not just you, not just the neighbors, not just your family. Everything's stacked up. You're sitting there thinking, and Chloe has this overwhelming feeling all the time. How much more am I going to fucking take? I mean, literally, you end up in the hospital and you're like, you're suicidal. And they're like, oh, well, you need to get rid of her. Yet, they pull up their records and go, oh, she's got it worse than you think. Yet, how come she ain't on disability? I mean, literally, the thing is that, people sit there and say Chloe's the trigger or the catalyst. I don't know, honestly, but I'm telling you how
nothing.
I'm telling you how I truly feel, everyone, is I'm just too damn exhausted and tired of all this arguing and fighting. So, with that said, it's already 1 hour, 34 minutes. I just want to wish you all a happy-go-lucky night. You heard it from me. I hope you enjoy this video. I will edit the part where it says 2018 and I will fix 2019. But anyways, so economics 101 through 104. I think I've explained the economics pretty good. The cleaning part pretty good. Like I said, if there's anyone out there, and I joked about the GoFundMe account to ship her away. I mean, literally, I know you guys won't do that. It's not in your nature, but I said that as a joke just to tell you, and people sit there and say it's just a one-time payment, ship her out. But, the thing is, one-time payment or not, it's not good. However, I have my own thoughts, like I said. So I'm just tired, and and how much more can I take? I mean, yesterday I was on the floor crying. So technically, it's like I said, how was it? What is it with him? Every time I turn around, he hops up on her. I just don't get it. Anyways, my motto is when it comes to video games, save often. With that said, everyone, please add, subscribe, please post comments, please leave feedback, suggestion. Sorry these videos went long. Maybe tomorrow I can talk about something that I enjoy, video games, if I do get onto it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And like I said, hit that like, subscribe button, and keep the comments nice is all we ask, and enjoy every puff. Is the internet freaking working again? What the hell?